Deion Sanders' voice carried a weight that only comes from living the life, enduring the grind, and rising to the top of a world built on pressure. "Be patient, but be ready," he told his son, repeating it with a rhythm that sounded less like advice and more like a mantra. For Deion, it wasn't optional. It was survival. He looked Shadur in the eye and reminded him that the Sanders family doesn't scramble to prepare when the lights come on. They live prepared. "We ain't built like that," he said. "We don't have to get ready. We stay ready." And with those words, he lit the fuse under the growing speculation. Shedur's moment isn't just on the horizon. It's almost here. It wasn't a vague pep talk. Deion hinted that he already knows when it's coming. "I got a prediction," he teased, keeping the details close to his chest. But one thing was certain in his tone. It's going to happen, and when it does, it'll be Shedur's chance to plant his flag in the NFL. For Deion, it's not about waiting in line for someone else to decide when you're ready. It's about being prepared to kick the door down the moment opportunity cracks it open. Those words weren't only meant for his son. They were also aimed directly at the critics, the ones suggesting Shadur should ride the bench behind Lamar Jackson in Baltimore or another superstar, learning in the shadows until his turn came. To Deion, that logic is laughable. "When have the pros ever developed anybody?" he fired back. "It's not how the league works, and it never has been. No one's going to take a young quarterback under their wing and polish him into greatness. In the NFL, it's sink or swim, and Deion knows his son isn't built to drown. The reality is harsh. By the time you make it to the NFL, teams expect you to already have the tools. Sure, they'll hand you a playbook, but nobody is sitting you down to teach you how to read defenses, hold the pocket, or execute under fire. If you can't deliver, they'll find someone who can." For Deion, that's why waiting doesn't work. Sitting on the sidelines doesn't make you better. It makes you stale. The only way to grow is by being on the field, taking the hits, making the reads, and proving you belong. Travis Kelce knows this truth firsthand. Backing Deion's point, Kelce explained that no one is going to spoon-feed you answers. "You gotta figure it out on your own, man," he said. He recalled how younger players often asked him how he ran his routes, hoping for a secret formula. But the truth is, there isn't one. Experience is the only teacher. You have to run it, fail at it, and adjust until it becomes second nature. That's the unforgiving reality of the NFL. No shortcuts, no safety nets, no mentors holding your hand. Jason Kelce echoed the same philosophy from his days in Philadelphia. When he first joined the Eagles, the coaches told him, "Just don't mess it up and you'll be the starter." That blunt vote of confidence forced him to step into the role immediately. No safety blanket, no extended warm-up. If he had been buried behind veterans, he admits, he wouldn't have grown the same way. Jason's career is proof that opportunity isn't about waiting politely, it's about grabbing the chance when it's in front of you and refusing to let go. Deion hammered that point home by reflecting on his own Hall of Fame career. Not once, he said, did he sit on the bench and think, "I learned a lot today." Growth doesn't happen on the sidelines. It happens in the heat of the game when the stakes are high and mistakes carry consequences. That's the environment that forges real players. And that's the environment Shadur is stepping into. Shadur himself has embraced that mindset with surprising maturity. Instead of sulking over scout team reps, he's embraced them. For him, it's not a setback, it's an accelerated education. He's even said he prefers getting 6 games worth of reps a week in practice rather than just 1 on Sundays. Every day is game day in his eyes. Every snap against the Browns' top-tier defense is another chance to sharpen his mind, his timing, and his resilience. And if you ask him, facing what he calls the best linebackers in the league is the perfect preparation for what's coming next. That attitude is why Deion believes his son won't just be ready, he'll be over-prepared. Shadur isn't waiting to be handed the keys. He's using every rep to study the game plan, build chemistry with his teammates, and prove that when the call comes, he's already functioning like a starter. He's not just rehearsing. He's performing in advance, banking the experience for the day he steps into the spotlight, and that day is closer than people think. Bill Musgrave, the Browns' quarterback coach, put the speculation to rest. Shadur will get his shot, and there's no doubt in his mind about it. He revealed that Shadur has been training side by side with Dillon Gabriel, pushing each other relentlessly to be ready. Musgrave described both quarterbacks as a few snaps away from stepping into first-team action, emphasizing that the separation between waiting and playing is razor thin. When that line breaks, Shadur is expected to step across it without hesitation. Musgrave also assured fans that the Browns' coaching staff isn't leaving anything to chance. They're meticulously preparing Shadur, monitoring every detail of his progress to ensure that when the opportunity arrives, nothing is left undone. It's a deliberate strategy. Development through intensity, readiness through pressure. And it's working because Shadur doesn't treat this as downtime. He treats it as a proving ground. That confidence extends beyond just his preparation. Shadur has spoken openly about how much he values building connections with his teammates, understanding their tendencies, and syncing his rhythm with theirs. For a quarterback, that chemistry is as vital as arm strength or accuracy, and Shadur knows it. Every rep with the scout team, every adjustment against elite defenders, is laying the foundation for when he leads an offense for real. So while some critics still argue he should wait, Shedur's actions prove otherwise. He isn't waiting at all. He's working, learning, adapting, and turning every day into a battlefield of preparation. Deion sees it. His teammates see it. And his coaches know it's only a matter of time before the league sees it too. Deion's words, "Be patient, but be ready," weren't about slowing down. They were about building the right kind of hunger. Patience isn't passivity. It's preparation without desperation. And readiness isn't just confidence, it's the discipline to ensure that when the phone rings, when the coach points, when the stadium roars, you don't just step in, you dominate. Deion Sanders' story is shaping up to be more than just another young quarterback climbing the ranks. It's becoming a testament to a mindset, a way of life handed down from one of football's greatest icons. He doesn't need to ride the bench for years, waiting for someone else to validate him. He doesn't need a superstar to mentor him into greatness. He's writing his own path, built on sweat, repetition, and an unshakable belief that when his moment comes, he'll be more than ready. He'll be inevitable. Because in the NFL, the bench doesn't make you better. Action does. And for Deion Sanders, action is coming sooner than anyone thinks.